Baby, I need everyone to pull up a chair because we're getting ready to go way back. Before we get into what happened in episode 7, we gotta go back to 2016 so that this all makes sense. Cause that whole situation at the table with Porsha, oh Lord, I was gonna say Poisters, with Porsha. Too much to say. With Porsha, the oysters, and K.Michelle, that triggered K.Michelle, and she just went haywire. And I know it confused a lot of people because they're like, I mean, Porsha's only talking about oysters. However, if you remember back in 2016, where K.Michelle confronted Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club, you know what? Let's get into it. I'm gonna connect the dots for y'all. Just be patient. Let's get into season 17, episode 7 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I don't care what nobody say, this season is really good. I'm really looking forward to the reunion, and I got so many recaps to give y'all. I gotta give y'all episode 7. I just watched episode 8. It is explosive. The content is about to be churning. So don't listen, I'm at home, don't worry about the bonnet, I'm getting dressed, so y'all gonna be seeing videos pushed out constantly. The ladies are still in Dallas at a group trip that Cynthia hosted, and it's not really going well, especially from K.Michelle's point of view, because she feels really triggered, like she cannot trust these women at all. She's the newest cast member on the show, surrounded by a bunch of OGs, and she's observing a lot of things go down, and she feels like it's a lot of funny business happening. And then the oysters arrive. Remember I said a couple minutes ago within this video how the oysters really triggered K.Michelle, and how in 2016 she confronted Angela Yee about what was said during the Breakfast Club interview. And I'm gonna insert a clip so you guys can have context. Now, this first clip is with Maino and Uncle Murder, and allegedly it was said that Maino and K.Michelle were either in a relationship or they had a thing going on, and they fucked. And what happened was Maino allegedly said that K.Michelle's box smelled so bad he got upset and he was just livid. And people were like, you know, allegedly like, hey Maino, if that was your girl, why didn't you say anything? And allegedly Maino said that it smelled so bad he was just upset, he couldn't even handle it, he just didn't even want to talk about it. But it seems like allegedly during that time he told Uncle Murder, and everybody knows Uncle Murder is so messy. He does these end of the year recaps, which to me are very funny. I really enjoy listening to them. And Uncle Murder said, K.Michelle, your pussy still stinks. Not only did Maino deny being with K.Michelle, he denied even fucking her. But years later, on his own podcast, he insinuated that he slept with a real popular R&B singer. Now, he didn't say the name specifically, but he did say that he described her having a very foul odor. And K.Michelle was so bothered by that comment, she threatened Maino with a defamation lawsuit. Now, shockingly, K.Michelle's issue wasn't even with Maino and Uncle Murder, which was crazy because I'm like, one of them said it, and Uncle Murder is publicly laughing about it and saying it on syndicated radio, national syndicated radio. But K.Michelle was really mad at Angela Yee, which was so confusing. And she was saying that the interview with Uncle Murder and Maino, because they were promoting their like mixtape, was long over, and Angela Yee doubled back and brought the whole rumor about the who got a stink pussies and K.Michelle, and that's when they started jiving on her again. And K.Michelle felt offended that Angela did it because she felt like, you're a woman and you know that's not something, I'm just paraphrasing, you know that's not something you would want on you. It's to somebody to say those mean nasty things about you, which is true. That's why K.Michelle reacted the way she did on episode 7, because she says she has not fully healed. Even though it happened so long ago, it still bothers her. So I posted something on my TikTok about that whole situation and giving the backstory about the Maino, Uncle Murder, K.Michelle, Coochie stink. And people in the comments on my TikTok video were saying that they really thought that Porsha was making fun of herself, because remember, Kelly said that Porsha had a chili cheese Frito pussy. So I mean, other people brought into perspective that, oh, Porsha's just making fun of herself. because of what Kelly said. But then also some people were like, they think Porsha was being messy. Now I got my notes here so we can be on track, because y'all know I like to rabble and blabble. So the Oyster Moment. Oh my God. All right, so they're still in Dallas. They're at the dinner table, and Porsha is talking about the oysters. And as you can see, if you watch the episode, she's basically saying like, oh, this one is clean, this one is fresh, this one don't smell too good. And K.Michelle got upset about it. And when you're eating oysters, I mean, that's completely normal, especially if you're eating raw oysters. You want to make sure it looks good and it smells good. I went to this restaurant. I can't remember what restaurant I went to, but I swear, after I left that restaurant, I had me some charcuterie oysters, my very first time. I should have went to Blake's Oyster Bar. Maybe I'll give it a second chance. The oysters a second chance, because they say Blake's Oyster Bar in Atlanta is really good. But I ate them oysters, and when I went home the very next day, matter of fact, not even the very next day, later that night, I felt so sick. When I tell you I was sick for like not even 3 days, I was sick for like a week. So sick. And I was traveling to Wilmington, North Carolina the very next day, and I felt horrible. I lost my voice. I couldn't really hold down food, no appetite or anything. So checking to make sure your oysters are clean. I don't see anything wrong with that. And also psychologically, I will say this. When something traumatic has happened to you, you look at things through the eyes of someone who's been traumatized. So while everybody else is sitting at the table thinking like, oh, we're just talking about seafood, to K.Michelle, she doesn't hear seafood. She hears Maino, Uncle Murder, laughing, joking, The Breakfast Club, and Angela Yee. So that's what it translated to her as. I don't think Porsha was being messy. All right, so the next morning at breakfast, K.Michelle and all the ladies are at the breakfast table, and K.Michelle has a speech. She wants to get some things off her chest. And this scene annoyed the fuck out of me. Also, it seems like when K.Michelle gets on the screen and she opens her mouth, I'm at a point where I'm just like, what now? Like, girl, what's wrong? So she has a speech and she says, and this is exactly what she says, if I know that a motherfucker is sitting here plotting my hurt, I'm not gonna smile in your face. I know exactly the whole plot. And everybody's confused. Even Angela is just like, girl, we at breakfast, just eat. What are you upset about? Phaedra was confused. Everybody was just like, what happened? What's going on? Even Porsha was confused. Now, K.Michelle is alleging that the ladies, specifically Porsha, Phaedra, and Drew, went to some bloggers, and allegedly the blogger is Jason Lee. And I'm gonna let me say this before I go forward. The blogger being Jason Lee. Now Jason Lee, and I'm gonna put in a clip, did say that the cast members, some of them did call, and Phaedra was one of them, to inquire about K.Michelle, being she was gonna be on the show.
Good to see you and Phaedra together, though, because Phaedra was one of the people that called too. Because Phaedra's, let me tell you, between you and Phaedra. When Phaedra called, let me tell you what I told Phaedra.
But he did not specifically say what was asked. We don't know who was plotting about what off camera, but K.Michelle believes that in her heart, because we don't know who K.Michelle talked to, what they told her in, privacy, but she says that Porsha, Phaedra, and Drew were plotting on her, and that whole oyster thing was the scheme. And at the table, initially, she did not reveal that. But Kelly, Shamia, and Pinky Cole knew. Now, mind you, Phaedra's at the table, Fan and K.Michelle concerned, Porsha is genuinely concerned. Everybody's looking like, what the hell is the problem? Angela is over it. And I don't get, like, K.Michelle's issue with Drew and this guy Black. I really don't get it. Drew brought up Black. K.Michelle says she knew Black and showed the DMs. But K.Michelle keeps beating a dead horse. Like, oh, and Black, this and Black. And Drew's like, I only mentioned him one time. Like, calm down. I'm not saying that was your man. You tried to fuck him and this and that. Like, why are you so bothered by that one time I brought it up? I'm trying to think K.Michelle's like schizophrenic. Or that woman gotta be bipolar. Now here's my take on this, because in the last video, episode 6, I talked about how Porsha is really trying to guide K.Michelle, and I don't think that's happening now. And K.Michelle's not listening, and K.Michelle's trying to turn Porsha into an enemy, and that's not very smart of her. Porsha is one of the OGs. Porsha has continuously gotten a peach back. Porsha has survived being on the show. She has survived the whole thing with Kenya Moore when she hit, I think she beat her ass. She survived the whole scandal with the sex dungeon, the rape allegations against Candy. She survived so much and still is here. So she's doing something right. And I can genuinely say Porsha is the ultimate housewife currently. Not in the whole franchise, because you know Nene Leakes is the queen of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nobody can take her spot, but Porsha's one of the OGs. That's someone you should be listening to. And I just feel like K.Michelle's just doing it all wrong. It's just like every other moment she's offended by something. Now it'd have been different if K.Michelle was like, every time she felt offended by something, she's gonna call it out right then and there and speak on it and let it be known and get shit together. That'd have been different. But it's like she's whining and crying over stuff, and that shit is so annoying. Now I get it. When someone makes a comment about your, you know, your personal hygiene, it does affect you. It is detrimental to your self-esteem. Nobody wants to be known as being unhygienic, stank, or your vagina stinks. Like, there's, especially with like black women, there's like a hygiene Olympics, and nobody sweats, nobody's shit stinks, nobody pussy stinks. If you're a woman, at some point in your life, often, not every day, you're going to have the direction of your life. You're going to have some moments. You're gonna have some moments where it just might not smell fresh. You're gonna have some moments where you are on your period, or you're just getting off your period, or you just like that happens. And the best part about it is you correct it, you see what's going on. But I get it. But at some point, K.Michelle has to not let this be detrimental and take over her, because it's getting on everybody's nerves. Because some people didn't even know, if she didn't even say anything about the oysters and she laughed it off, it literally wouldn't, nobody would have even correlated, oh, they're talking about you. Because I literally forgot Maino and the Uncle Murder and Breakfast Club. I completely forgot about that. That happened in 2016. That's 10 years later. 10 years ago. I have not seen so much Twitter wars in the franchise of this Atlanta franchise for Real Housewives until K.Michelle got here. Now, the episode airs and K.Michelle gets on Twitter talking shit. Mind you, you're in the same house with Porsha, 2 doors down, and you talking shit when you could have put it on TV and got paid for it. So this is what K.Michelle tweeted. I don't care how crazy it looked. All the behind the scenes producing these ladies did. I knew all about it. I sat there and watched quietly. I'm not new to this. Then 3 minutes later, she added, don't sit in my face and play like you don't know what I'm talking about. You want a reaction, you can have it. Say it to my face or be a quiet coward. Now, they said allegedly Porsha hadn't even been on Twitter in like a whole year. But she came back to address this, and she said, who is a coward? I would define a coward as a person tweeting from the house 2 doors down from me. Next time, let's do our job and bring it to my front door real time. That's how it's done on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Porsha got 25,000 likes and K.Michelle got under 1,000. And that's what it is. So here's my verdict. Part of me wants to give K.Michelle some grace because it's her first time being on the show. But also there are women on the show who get there and they hit the ground running. Especially allegedly that K.Michelle has been begging to be on the show for years. So it's like, girl, you begging to be on the show for years, you gotta come with some heat, number one. I'm starting to really think that she may not be built for this season because all the crying and the you, If she does not bring out receipts at the reunion, I don't know what to say. If she does not come out with receipts at the reunion, I don't know what to say. Like Monique did for Giselle, Pastor Holy Whore. And that's actually another video I'm going to get into, because on episode 8, you'll hear me talk about that. But there's the whole mystery pastor that Kelly was sleeping with. We now have some suspects. And I don't know, like with the whole K.Michelle thing, I just don't know if she's going to be a good fit. It's not looking good. Like I said in season 17, episode 6, I would be very shocked if they offer her a peach for the next season. I really would. Because you can't be tweeting. This is not Love and Hip Hop, girl. These are Real Housewives of Atlanta. And this is a very highly rated syndicated show on national TV. I don't know if it will get as big as this. And like I said in my last video, maybe Married to Medicine. Love and Hip Hop is gone. So you gotta really work this show. You already have a fake marriage. We not seeing you in the studio making music. We saw you do that one, we knew about that one country music award honor that you were doing for that lady. That's it. But your whole like storyline cannot be about Porsha. And then, oh my God, I'm about to tell in episode 8. That's all I got. What do y'all think? Do y'all think K.Michelle is gonna get another peach for season 18? Do you think that will happen? I will be very shocked. That's all I got, y'all. I'm about to edit this video and get myself together. I really, like I always say, like these videos are so therapeutic for me, because sometimes I be really growing through it in my personal life. So it feels really good to be sitting here talking to y'all. I love when y'all watch my videos. It don't matter if y'all run it up 500 views, 1.5K, or it's 37. I'm just really grateful, as my goal is to monetize this channel and reach my watch hours. So anything y'all do is so appreciative. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so that every time I come on here, y'all are aware of what's going on, because I want to keep y'all entertained. And this is very therapeutic for me, because ooh, sometimes my emotions be. But yes, I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Bye.